Hello, Elizabeth here, and I am particularly stoked today because today is finally the day where I bring you a tutorial for the ever popular puff vinyl. Puff vinyl is easily one of the hottest materials in the crafting world today. It's certainly the coolest vinyl I've ever used. Puff vinyl is a heat transfer vinyl that you can cut with your Cricut machine just like any other heat transfer vinyl, but when it interacts with the heat, it actually puffs up and gives a 3D dimensional texture on the fabric. It's a little harder to tell on camera, but each of these letters actually puffs out from the shirt and is three-dimensional. You can feel it, it's nice and bumpy. There are so many possibilities with puff. However, it is also notoriously one of the most challenging materials to get right. It can be a little bit finicky in terms of heat and how much pressure you use. It takes some trial and error to figure it out, and a lot of people really detest trying to work with it because it can be a challenge. But not after you watch today's tutorial, because I'm gonna show you how to get amazing results from your puff every single time. The days of throwing your projects at the wall are over. You're gonna love puff after this. There's one technique in particular in this video that is the difference between this before and after. I'm gonna walk you through everything step by step so that you can be a puff master. Let's do it. Okay, the first and most important step is to make sure you're using a good quality puff vinyl. The vinyl I'm using today is VTS Super Puff from Vinyl and Tool Supply. I've put a link to it down in the description. This puff vinyl is the puff vinyl. Every Facebook group I'm in, all the other videos I've seen, anyone who has tried this vinyl knows that it gives you way better results than any of its competitors. So when they said they wanted to ship me some to try, I was so excited and I've been totally impressed by it. It is leaps and bounds better than the other ones I've tried. They also have glitter and metallic versions of their puffs, so I will be posting video tutorials of those as well very soon. Puff vinyl can be cut in your Cricut machine just like any other type of heat transfer vinyl. You want to make sure your design is always mirrored just like with regular HTV, and I like to use the material setting of everyday iron-on with more pressure. Now the difference here from regular HTV is that you're pretty much always going to put regular HTV shiny side down on your Cricut cutting mat. The shiny side is what we call the carrier sheet, which is the part that your iron will be pressed down onto. And then the other side is the actual vinyl that we cut into. However, this is not the case with puff vinyl. This is the shiny side of my VTS Super Puff, and this is the matte side, which is actually the carrier sheet. This shiny side is the vinyl. So the matte side is what's going to go down onto your Cricut mat so that your blade is cutting into the vinyl and not the carrier sheet. If you're ever unsure which side of your vinyl goes down on the cutting mat, you can gently pick at a corner of your vinyl and the vinyl will peel away from a clear carrier sheet. Once your design is cut, you can weed any excess vinyl just like you would with regular HTV, and then it's ready to press. Any puff vinyl you use will probably have a much lower temperature recommendation than you're used to. VTS recommends 280 degrees, which I found to just be a little too hot with my Cricut Easy Press, so I found 275 to be perfect. For puff to work properly, you also need firm, even pressure, so it's not recommended to use a household iron. You want your entire design to be under even pressure all at once. So a heat press like my Cricut Easy Press or a more industrial style clamshell press will be better choices for this. You also want to press onto a hard surface instead of the usual squishy heat press mat. I press directly onto my kitchen counter, but you can also use a wooden cutting board or any other heat-resistant hard surface. I first experimented with the puff on a small canvas drawstring bag. First, I used my heat press on the bag to remove any wrinkles and prep it for the vinyl. Then I pressed it as hard as I could, putting my body weight into the handle of the heat press. You only need to press puff vinyl for 10 seconds. Then you can hot peel the carrier sheet and it should come right off with no resistance. These were my results after that first press, and as you can see, there's a bit of shriveling happening, which can be a sign of too much heat. I did 280 degrees for this press, which is why I decided to lower it to 275 for my future presses. This definitely puffed up, but it wasn't the perfectly smooth result I was hoping for. Something interesting about puff vinyl is that it takes on the texture of the thing that you press it into. So if you look closely, you can actually see the cross-hatch texture of the canvas coming through the vinyl. The more textured your fabric is, the less smooth of a result you're going to get with your puff. And that is where this game-changing next hack comes in. This is another heat transfer vinyl called StripFlock Pro. It's a flocked vinyl with a suede finish and it's a little bit fuzzy. It's also pretty thick and gives a raised dimension to your designs. Layering puff on top of StripFlock Pro is going to give you the best results you're going to see from your puff. The way that the texture comes through is that perfectly smooth look that everybody wants, and because the StripFlock is also already thick and a little bit dimensional, it makes the puff look even that much more 3D when it puffs up. So I cut that same smile design out of the StripFlock Pro and I heat pressed that onto another canvas bag. This is a 15-second press with 340-degree heat. Then I put my press back down to 275 and let it cool to that temperature before pressing the puff again. I lined my puff up right on top of that StripFlock Pro and pressed again with heavy pressure for 10 seconds. And look at the results on that. It's so smooth, it's so three-dimensional, it's exactly what you want to see from a puff vinyl. Here's a comparison of the two presses with and without the StripFlock Pro. So next I wanted to make a shirt with the Elizabeth Sparkles logo. I knew for sure that I wanted to use the StripFlock again, and I thought it would look really cool to do an intentional offset to create an outline around the logo. And this also gives less room for error when trying to line it up perfectly on top of the StripFlock. StripFlock Pro comes in a bunch of colors, so you can be really strategic in the way that you combine it with the puff to make some awesome designs. If you don't know how to create an offset in Cricut Design Space, it's super easy. I've linked my tutorial for how to do it. So I applied the StripFlock layer first, another 340-degree press for 15 seconds, and again lowered the temperature back to 275 before pressing the puff. Then I lined up my puff on top of the StripFlock and pressed for 10 seconds, heavy pressure, 275 degrees. Like, are you kidding me with these results? This is the coolest thing I've ever made with vinyl. It's so dimensional, you can feel it with your hands, and it just has a really polished and defined look. It reminds me of a certain very popular merchandise from a theme park that includes a mouse and a castle, if you catch my drift. I just love it so much. I think it's so cool. So if you want perfect results every single time, I definitely recommend combining the StripFlock Pro with your Super Puff. I think it's just a really easy way to foolproof perfect results every single time. And I think the outline effect just looks amazing with the text as well. I can't wait to make more things. Okay, now that you have perfect results, let's go over Aftercare. So you can machine wash puff vinyl, but you want to make sure that you turn your garment inside out. I actually stick mine in a garment bag as well. And then you want to machine wash on cold water, preferably the delicate cycle, but I've had no issues on a normal cycle. Do not put puff vinyl in the dryer. You want to hang it up to dry. You don't want to add any extra heat to puff or it might shrivel up like that first press that had a little too much heat. Speaking of which, if you put puff vinyl onto something and you're not happy with the results, I've had success removing puff vinyl by adding extra heat intentionally. When you add more heat, the puff kind of shrivels up and then you're able to peel it off. But there is a sweet spot for this. This kind of shriveled up brain texture is what you're going for. At this point, you should be able to peel it off without leaving a mark on your fabric. But past this point, if you keep adding heat, you'll actually scorch it right into the fabric, and at that point you will not be able to remove it. So don't go crazy with it. I would do like 10-second increments with that same 275 to 80-degree heat. Try to peel it off after each one and only add more heat if it's not shriveling yet. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I hope you're really excited to try out some puff vinyl. I feel like my brain is running in 1,000 different directions of what I can do with it, and I just want to craft all day. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment letting me know what sort of project you'd like to see in the future. I've got tons of Cricut tutorials on my channel and more on the way. See you later!